At the moment, I'm able to offer you free Elliott Wave analysis of Ethereum on this channel, but that's going to change soon. This is actually a good thing because it means you'll be able to get weekly, in-depth, full coverage of Elliott Wave analysis of Ethereum from Pure Elliott Wave, not just the quick snapshot I give you each day. When we begin this new subscription, we'll offer a grandfather rate for the first 24 hours that will never be offered again. Make sure you don't miss out on getting this very good rate by signing up to our notification list. Click on the link below to sign up. We'll email you a few days before launch, the day before and on launch date, so you don't miss out on this rate. Good morning everybody, this is Lara from Pure Elliott Wave with your Monday to Friday update for Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. I want to step back and have a look at the big picture for Bitcoin because although prices are very close to all-time highs, I want to show you why this is still not near the end of a strong bullish run and why I expect Bitcoin's got quite a long way to go up this year. I want to do this because I was meeting a local here in a pub in Manchester the other day and he asked me what I do and I told him I analyse financial markets and he said he had about £10,000 to invest and what would I recommend. My answer was that's not the kind of recommendation I give, but I'm investing my own money at the moment in crypto. His face changed. He didn't roll his eyes, but I could tell he was unimpressed and he was never going to do that. I do think that toward the end of this year, if my analysis is right and cryptocurrencies are making huge bull market runs, reaching amazing heights and making headlines around the world, he might remember that conversation in the pub back earlier in the year and he might have some regrets. Almost all of my investments in crypto, I'm only investing money that I can afford to lose. My rule of thumb is if I would spend it on a nice restaurant meal, then that's how much I'm happy to invest in a cryptocurrency because it doesn't matter if I'm wrong and then I lose my whole investment. I won't lose any sleep over it. Would never recommend someone invest all of their £10,000 in cryptocurrency, but I have invested small amounts of my own money in cryptocurrency, except for Bitcoin, which I have a reasonable investment in. This is Bitcoin's initial price history back in 2010. It had a really strong bullish run and then it entered a consolidation phase that lasted 23 months. After the breakout, it was a following 9 months of overall upward movement to the eventual end of that bullish run in October 2013, and it moved from a close here of $33.38, the eventual high $1,241.92 at the end of that bullish run. That is a massive potential profit. Then entering another huge consolidation phase where volume and interest drops off and there's not a lot of news about it, and then it has another breakout and another bullish run. At this breakout, the close for price was $1,415.81. The following bullish run lasted 8 months and the high in end of November, early December 2017 reached 19,870.62. So there was still a massive potential profit. Even if you hadn't bought close to the lows, if you're buying just toward the middle, you can still have a massive potential profit if you know when to sell. Another big consolidation lasting 39 months. The close when price broke out, 19,625.84. The following bullish run, 5 months to the high, 64,863. So you still have a really good potential profit. We're just right now exiting another huge consolidation, this time lasting a total 37 months. Prices broken to new all-time highs on daily, weekly and monthly timeframes. All of them have pushed from volume. The close on the last month, 61,179.58, just prior to the breakout. How many months do I think we're going to continue to see overall upward movement? I would say at least 5 months and possibly as much as 9 or 10 months. So even though you may not have purchased close to lows, at this point I expect there is still quite a long way to go for this current bullish run before it reaches its end. And I'm going to be using Elliott Wave and classic technical analysis with a really heavy emphasis on my Elliott Wave analysis to identify when this next bullish run is over. Let's get into our daily technicals for Bitcoin. The last completed session moves price lower with a lower low and a lower high, but the color of the candlestick is green and it's got a bullish long lower wick. Finding support exactly as expected so far at 68,400. I expect this is still part of this consolidation, which began back here after all-time highs, and there's some work to do before it can break out to new all-time highs again and then move away with further confidence. Finding resistance at 73,100. Yesterday's session, within the session, upward movement dominates and it has a little bit of a push from volume. Again, the bulls are stronger than the bears of the previous session. So for the very short term, I'm reading the volume profile as bullish, but overall, as price continues in this consolidation, we're seeing a decline in volume. That's absolutely normal to be expected behavior, and consolidations are a normal part of a healthy bullish run. Don't expect price to move in a straight line. Yesterday's green candlestick sees on-balance volume move higher. This resistance line for on-balance volume has now really good technical significance. If this current session closes green, we're going to get a bullish signal, but in the first instance, let's expect resistance on price, and resistance on on-balance volume is likely to halt a rise in price for the session of 11th of April, and we may see a red candlestick. If we do, on-balance volume will react down from resistance, forming another pivot, increasing the technical significance of that line. Eventually, we're going to get a break above resistance or below support, and when that happens, that'll be a really strong signal, particularly the resistance line, because it's got almost no slope, it's practically horizontal, and it's got quite a few tests now, and for this time frame, it's reasonably long held. The previous bullish run reached very extreme. The upward trend was very extreme. ADX reached above 45 and above both DX lines. The consolidation has pulled the black ADX line back out of very extreme territory, which is above 45, back into neutral territory, but it's got a negative slope, so it's not telling us there's a trend. It's telling us price is consolidating. Again, a normal part of a healthy bullish market. Don't expect price to move in a straight line. This consolidation is actually really, really good to see because it's setting ADX up for a really strong signal. If we do see a few more days of sideways movement, that's going to pull the black ADX line hopefully below 15, and then when it rises up from a low level and starts to move higher, that's going to be the strongest signal it can give. This happened back down here, and on the 9th of February, we received a really strong bullish signal from ADX, and price was closing at 47,154. Eventually, ADX reached very extreme, and price was closing over 73,000. So there was a strong bullish run from this after this very strong bullish signal. If we see that set up again, I'll be very, very pleased, and I will expect after breaks to new all-time highs again, another strong bullish run. As price continues sideways, both volume and range decline. Range is a really important measure of volatility, and volatility is an extremely important metric to check and track on cryptocurrencies because these markets have extreme volatility. These markets have the greatest volatility of any chart I've ever seen. That means there's much higher risk, which is why I'm only, for most of the coins I've bought, investing as much as I would spend on a good restaurant meal, maybe a couple of meals. And that's one way you can reduce your risk and manage risk in an extremely volatile market, only investing funds that you are prepared to lose in their entirety. My main Elliott Wave count for Ethereum sees the middle of a third wave having passed, unfolding as an impulse, almost textbook perfect. Minute 3 begins here, and it has minuet 1 as an impulse, minuet 2 as a zigzag, minuet 3 an extended impulse, minuet 4 a zigzag. There's no alternation in structure between 2 and 4. That's okay, that's a guideline, not a rule, and you have to be flexible in how you apply that guideline. There is alternation within these structures. Within the second wave correction, you've got a short A wave and a long C wave. Within the fourth wave, A and C are much closer to even in length, so there's alternation in the length of the waves within these zigzags. 4 ending there, I'm expecting 5 to begin, and I expect 5 because it's a fifth wave to end. A third wave impulse 1 degree higher is extremely likely to be a long, strong extension. I'm used to this in commodities. I've been analysing gold every day for many years now. Commodities have a tendency to blow off tops and selling climaxes. In Elliott Wave terms, we can see that commodities have tendencies to extended fifth waves that are particularly strong. This tendency is especially prevalent prevalent for a fifth wave to end a third wave 1 degree higher, and that tendency is even more pronounced in cryptocurrencies. And that's why I expect Minuet 5 is most likely to be at least 2.618 the length of 3 at 8130. That's really close to where Minute 3 would reach 6.854, a more extreme Fibonacci ratio to Minute Wave 1 at 8134, a $4 target zone calculated at 2 degrees. Minuet 4, if it continues, may not move into Wave 1 price territory below 2717.20. That's where risk lies with this wave count at this time. Technical dailies for Ethereum focusing on the last completed session. A bullish long lower wick, a close green, finding support still at 3450. So this is a fairly good bullish look. Let's see if Ethereum can break above resistance at 3680. If it can, look for next resistance to be found at 4100. I expect the low of the 5th of April is very likely to remain intact, as this is a dragonfly doji, a bullish candlestick reversal pattern occurring closest to support at 3050. The last completed green candlestick did not have push from volume. Ethereum overall has a bullish volume profile. Within the consolidation, it is this bullish session that has strongest volume. When we see price fall, volume declines. When we see price rise, volume increases. So I'm reading the volume profile as bullish, and we're getting bullish signals from on-balance volume. The last signal was a break above this little resistance line, a back test of support moving up and away. On-balance volume supports the view that we're going to see an upward breakout from the consolidation for Ethereum sooner rather than later. I can't tell you when exactly that's going to happen. I'd expect by the end of next week. ADX is still declining. The previous upward trend reached very extreme. The consolidation has relieved extreme conditions. Ethereum is again setting up for the next bullish run. My main Elliott Wave count for XRP, the alternate, has been invalidated, so this is now the only remaining Elliott Wave count at this time. I may develop further alternates in future. It sees the middle of a third wave and it's very, very early stages. This is an extremely bullish look for XRP. If my analysis is right, this is still really close to major long-term lows. This wave count expects a third wave at minute, minor, intermediate, primary and cycle degree. A third wave up at 5 degrees has only just begun. This is exactly when least interest will be in this market. Most disgust, plenty of derision, and a lot of people really annoyed at how long it's been consolidating. I see a lot of bullishness in the charts, and I'm hanging on to the reasonable amount of XRP that I purchased some years ago. All of those purchases are profitable, but I'm not ready to sell because I expect it's in the early stages of a bullish run. I'm going to hang on until that ends. Technicals for XRP still moving sideways, support about 60 cents with this very, very bullish long lower wick on the last completed candlestick. I expect support at 60 cents is now very likely to hold at the last low following this downward little pull. There's a strong bullish engulfing candlestick pattern which does have push from volume. There's enough bullishness for the short term in this chart to support the Elliott Wave count. As it moves up, do not expect price to move in a straight line. There will be more pullbacks and consolidations along the way. When they happen, don't panic. You have to hold throughout volatility in markets like this when they form exponential growth or parabolic growth curves. Look for next resistance at 0.675, above that 0.82. That completed candlestick for yesterday was downward movement, a lower, lower, lower high, but the candlestick is green and the lower wick is very bullish. What we can do though is use on-balance volume as a leading indicator. We've got this resistance line which has got some technical significance. It's got 3 tests. The support line's got 3 tests. They've both got fairly shallow slopes, but they are reasonably long held, so there's some reasonable technical significance here. If price continues high and we see another green candlestick, on-balance volume may come up to find resistance. They may assist to halt a rise in price and may initiate a downward movement. If on-balance volume breaks above the yellow resistance line, that would give us a bullish signal that would be reasonable and would support the Elliott Wave count. ADX is too low to indicate a trend. If it reaches 15 with a positive slope, it will finally indicate a trend. This is a very low level for ADX. It has set itself up for a very, very strong signal. I'll be watching this and on-balance volume for XRP very closely in the next few days. That's it from me with your quick update today. I hope everyone is having a lovely day.